Looks delicious. Can I have a bite of that?
F off! It's mine!
Salut tout le monde, it's your boy Lukael. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. This is episode 3. In the previous episode, we went around some more in Martinez, talked to some more characters. We talked to Tommy le Homme, the lorry driver. Using Kim's car, we radioed the police precinct and talked to Jules Pidieu. Even got in touch with our partner, apparently, Jean Vicmar. Also had a talk with the doctor, Nix Gottlieb, and with Sylvie, who's like one of the witnesses, I guess. We talked to Funny Man Sealang, who tried to sell us a bunch of things, and then also with the unnamed man on the waterlock. And we stopped right in the pawn shop, so excited to play some more today. Are we finally going to see the body today? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not in any hurry. I'm taking my time with this game and really enjoying it, so I hope you guys are too. I just posted the first episode on the channel and I'm pretty happy with the reception. A lot of people are watching it and I got some positive comments, so thank you so much to everyone who watched the first episode. I want to address a few quick things just before we jump in. First of all, some comments pointed out that I failed to allocate every skill point when I created my character. And I went back to check, and indeed, I did leave 1 point behind. And I really didn't notice it until someone pointed it out. I don't know what to say. I really just didn't notice there was 1 point left behind, so that kind of sucks, but it's not that big of a deal, I guess. We're just gonna be 1 skill point behind. The other thing I want to address is the music in this game. So you might have noticed in the first episode I had to cut some music at the beginning of the game because unfortunately it got copyright claimed on YouTube. And in the second video, the title screen music, the one that's playing right now that you guys can't hear but that I'm hearing, also got copyright claimed on YouTube. I don't know what the deal is with that. Now there is a streamer mode in this game, but it's been active this entire time and it doesn't affect these songs that are playing and they're still copyrighted. So yeah, unfortunately I might have to cut some of the music sometimes, like the music that plays on the title screen I replaced with another song. Hopefully we don't get too many of those in the game itself because I want you guys to get the full experience, but obviously I don't want to get demonetized. So as always on YouTube and copyright, it's always kind of a balancing act, but I'm gonna do my best to kind of keep the experience as intact as possible. So yeah, thank you for joining me today. I've got my trusty dictionary open in the second screen, which we're gonna keep using, I'm sure. And without any further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, we were headed to the pawn shop, so let's go back there. It is 1:29 on day 1. Lots to see in here. Some kind of machine, an antique cash register? Mayhaps. A bust of a woman. The plaque simply says DEI. The less said about DEI, the better these days. In the dark, a film projector is whirring away. Mostly military wear with a few more eccentric fashions thrown in. Okay, let's see what this guy has to say.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
It's almost like this guy's mouth is like fused together. Bird's Nest Roy. Bird's Nest, is that the name of this shop or is that just his nickname? The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
He asks.
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you. It's shameful how insufficient the police presence is in these parts. Now that the RCM is here, tell me, have you had any trouble lately? Yeah, that.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Inconsistent,
Who
you
are
say?
your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Quite the collection indeed. Typical of vacuous consumerist objects. Honestly, I think some of your selections are more tasteful than others. This business plan is all over the place. You should specialize, zoom in, recapitalize. Is there anything like that's not tasteful in here? Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the walls behind you. I mean, it does seem like the colors and the lights are changing, but I can't see what they're displaying exactly.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Is Roy high? And if yes, then what is he on? Sure.
Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. A guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
Okay. Is there something I'd like to sell? I don't really have anything. You might be able to aid our investigation. By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by... Oh, right. I'm here kind of looking for my gun.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
Okay, so he claims he doesn't know anything. Actually, that's all I've
The
got.
pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by officers of the Citizens Militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple
So
days
I
back.
pawned the gun? Keep looking, maybe someone else knows something. Okay, so you just confirmed I'm the one that pawned the gun.
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Wait, I sold you my gun?
With Kim here too. That just sounded really, really bad.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
I mean, I was kind of right about that, but...
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Photon emissions. I'm actually kind of curious to see what kind of guns they actually carry, because the car that we saw was kind of strange looking. So like, what kind of guns do they actually have? Like, I'm not entirely sure what the level of technology we're dealing with in this world yet. It seems kind of like early, like maybe 30s technology. Maybe I'm just saying bullshit.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
What was I like?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money.
Okay, so I guess I was feeling maybe a little suicidal, and so that's why I'd rather not have the gun with me.
When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it.
Okay.
Then I agreed to take it.
I guess I should thank you for that.
Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
Yeah. How much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
That's all? Just 15 real?
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream. It's not, though.
Poor Kim's like, what the hell did I get myself into?
This has got to be the most. Wow. There's pity there, too. In case you didn't notice.
I really should have killed myself. Maybe I still will one of these days. Damn. I'm so sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk about it any further.
No apologies necessary, officer.
Okay. Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman.
She?
Although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her.
Okay, so some woman calling herself a pig has my gun. I noted that down. Huh.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm issued by the Citizens Militia And now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Yep.
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
There is only one explanation. She must be one of my rabid fans. Maybe she's a vigilante, wants to prove she can do our jobs better than we can. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the citizens' militia? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I sold my gun. Yeah, I don't really like it.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
He looks around, worried. Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
Yeah, understandable.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
That's what I've been hoping about a lot of things. At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
I have other business to take care of now. Okay. What's that there?
Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Let your gaze run over the streetlight. Is that a streetlight? Where did you get this? How much for the streetlight? Sure, let's just look at it.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
So it's a street light that's been converted into like just a normal light you can have in your home. I guess that's kind of cool. Is that a street light?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
I don't think that's something you should just pawn off.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property.
He leans in so the pawnbroker doesn't hear him.
You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
I was just thinking that. He pauses, studying the light. How much for the street light?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Jesus Christ, are you out of your mind? There's one just like that on every corner. Well, he did make some modifications to it. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep. 700 sounds about right. I imagine it wasn't easy sawing off that street lamp. I mean, that seems a bit steep.
There's also the matter of rewiring.
Sure.
But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
I can straight up buy that. Is there even like 700 real in the whole game? So far I've just been finding like pennies. Okay, nothing else I need to know about the light. God damn. More speakers up there? Why is everyone got
The boom
speakers?
boxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Stand on the tips of your toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite.
There's been like a few mentions of something about orange and gold and you. Like, what is it about me that resonates with orange?
Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Shopkeep, this Stereo 8 approved machine here.
It's the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul. Plays all
Seoul.
reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Just 12 real. I wonder if you can really just buy all these items. I mean, I guess so, right? But then, do they just go in your inventory? Like, can you do anything with them? By the way, for those who are new to the channel, every question I ask in my playthroughs is rhetorical. I don't want the answer to any of them. Unless I specifically ask, please let me know in the comments, then you can tell me the answer. Otherwise, I don't want the answer to any of these questions. I'm just wondering out loud so you guys can hear my reasoning. I'm not looking for answers. I want to find out for myself later in the game. What I really want to know is, could this device come handy in my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though I don't really like music.
What a weird thing to say.
I mean, I don't really like singers.
Not a big music fan, huh?
Who doesn't like me? I don't think there's any person on earth who doesn't like some kind of music. Man, I'm really gonna want to buy all these items just to see if like they unlock some kind of thing eventually. Equip this to play tapes. Maybe we are gonna need it eventually. I'll make a note of that. I mean, I don't know how I would come across like huge amounts of money. Like unless I finally get paid for my work, or unless like we rob a bank or something. Like if I just keep finding like $1, $2, I'm never gonna have enough to buy all these things, but I'm still gonna write it down just in case, because maybe we're gonna need it for the investigation. Maybe. What about here?
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty.
This surreal thing is really loud in my right ear.
Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back.
Win her back? Who's her?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
You're not gonna tell me, are you? Who's her? My wife? My daughter?
This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy.
Just all my different personalities being like, you shouldn't trust this guy. Dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
Oh, it's the fallen tracksuits again. What is this? Show it to the shopkeeper.
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fallen tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head.
Are you just fucking with me, or is this a real thing? I think that's just like a figurine that lost its head and now you're just making this up.
50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
You know what? For 50 cents, sure.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky?
Oh,
Always carry it with you.
okay, I will.
That was
He
a very
grins.
smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him.
Let's inspect the knights on horseback.
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Lamellar. A thin flat scale, membrane, or layer. One of the thin plates composing the gills of a bivalve mollusk. Okay. Point at the knights on horseback. Who are they?
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
Franco-Nigerian. So, France has to exist and Nigeria has to exist for this word to be here. So maybe Revachol really is like a fictional country, but in the real world, right? Like fucking Wakanda or something? Okay, interesting. He looks at the dusty figurines in the dim light.
A long, long time ago.
Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Are these royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colors indiscriminately.
Inspect the figurines in rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
It's meant to give people hope even we can do it. The contrast is meant to be disheartening, as it ought to be. It is impossible to win against the cohorts of capital. Ask my friend Gart, whose bitch it made me. What? Ask my friend Gart? Whose bitch it made me. Oh, because I owe him money? Okay. I wish it was more nuanced. As it stands, I cannot comment. Just being a real centrist about everything. I think it's meant to be disheartening, but I don't think it's as it ought to be. I don't know. What were the revolutionaries even fighting about? It's hard for me to take a stance since I don't know what it means. I'm gonna say that just because it's kind of funny that it's talking about me.
Okay. I don't like either set too much, to be honest.
He's like, anyways, I don't know anything about that. Step away from the table. Okay. That's all we've got in here. So now we've got this little figurine. What does that do? I love how it's worth a little bit less than what I paid for. The plastic headless fawn rider sits atop his equally plastic bull, his posture indicating either desperation or pride. Comes as a set with the infamous fallen cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. I forgot to read the description of these. Gasoline-stained fingerless gloves in navy blue. They've been worn threadbare, but being made of wool still provides some warmth and comfort. The meanest looking pair of cutters you have ever seen, made in Gottwald by Wallschirm Werkzeug. I probably said that wrong. No chain wire nor barbed fence will ever stand in your way again. They look hungry, ready to chew steel. The red-tip pry bar has Carson T heavy duty engraved just below the handle. It is satisfyingly heavy and perhaps one of the most useful tools to carry around. A police flashlight bearing the logo of Grundstellung RAO. The small dynamo packed inside this handheld illumination device theoretically gives you the ability to produce a tiny amount of electricity anytime, anywhere. Yeah, it seems like the technology that they use is like a bit different than you'd expect. I don't know, there's like these small hints of some strange technology which I'm curious to learn more about. Okay. Let's keep looking around. So there's the car. That's nothing. Tire tracks leading onto the roof. The slush and rain has almost washed them off. Onto the roof? Okay, we got two people here. Hello?
Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
He covers his mouth to hide a burp. Gaston Martin.
I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to angry old René first.
Okay. Hello, René.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René Arnoux.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please,
That's a
let's
great
just
saying.
try to enjoy the game, all right?
This one's still chewing on his sandwich. You're a man with a fork in the world of soup. That's a great line.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first.
Ask questions.
Never.
Shouldn't I ask what game it is first?
No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Better observe them first.
See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my concentration.
The man throws a metal ball towards a smaller wooden ball in the sand, missing it by a meter.
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say if it's in my back or hip anymore. Feels like it's in both.
He tries to measure the throw.
I hope you pass out from it, you goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
Standing tall and proud, he looks at his partner with disgust.
Trying to throw something as close to a predetermined point as possible. Measuring. This must be the age-old game of petanque.
Pétanque, that's what I figured.
Shush. Ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are letting down yourself and the team. Get in the damn game already.
I'm on it, coach.
Eyes on the ball, Dinky Winky.
Dinky Winky. Ugh, we only have... Oh man, that's a red check too. Hand-eye coordination. Only 28%. Let's see what happens. I think I failed. Well, I tried.
This felt wrong. Wrong like touching your sister's breast.
What the hell?
You threw your sister's breast.
Mon Dieu! Good job, officer. That was an excellent throw.
Nice, thanks for saving me the embarrassment.
There are no two more harmful words an athlete can hear than good job. And this was downright embarrassing.
Hold on, why did it feel so wrong?
Your muscle memory knew what to do and went for it. But there were gaps.
Something about it was completely unnatural, corrupted. Okay. I really think I've got some brain damage.
It felt like you were going for a thrust or a lunge. There was definitely gonna be jumping. Maybe you scored a point, but this is a fiasco.
Okay, well, we do have like an item here that we can use to get some morale back. But I guess I'll wait until using it. The throw was terrible and you know it. No need to mock me.
What are you talking about? You just executed a pretty much perfect pétanque throw.
His tone is full of admiration. Oh, maybe I did do a good job.
How are you ever going to get the officer's shit off your nose, Gaston? Or even climb out of his ass?
He shakes his head in extreme disdain. Perfect throw? Well, I still feel defeated. That's just how Johnny Ballgame is. Extraordinary. I was going for something cool, but I screwed it up like always. It does seem like I'm kind of screwing everything up lately, huh?
The man in the uniform says nothing. His gaze is fixed on the horizon. His merry partner is staring at the ground like he's trying to see right through to the other side.
I'm just bumming everyone out. There's like... Well, we don't want to kick a man while he's down, so I guess we'll say nothing.
The lieutenant is looking at you. His face is expressionless.
I love how everyone just ignored me. Anyways, do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of Whirling in Rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
So, again, you don't know anything.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
Okay, what about you? Do you know... Oh, well, I guess we're talking to him right now. You seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Do you know what created it?
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Okay, it's a crater led by artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse.
Oh.
You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Wait, who are the communards again?
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Okay, well, these aren't all the same thing. Just saying. Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
He adds, squeezing a bull in his fist. I did get a comment saying that the developers of this game are from Estonia, and so their experience is kind of based on like living in a post-communist Europe, I guess. So that's definitely going to affect some of the themes, I guess.
Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
Why shell them here in Martinez? They should have chosen a place away from people and buildings. I understand I'd bomb this place too. Why shell them here?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead?
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
Is this supposed to be about like the Normandy landings?
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling, a sign of mental deterioration in the preceding generations.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
I am curious about the history of this world, but I'm also probably going to forget a lot of these details, so like if I don't remember some of this later on in the playthrough, please forgive me. So Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow. The other 2, Stella Maris and the Delta. Stella Maris and the Delta. Okay. Deathblow sounds grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Okay, that's even more grim.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Hold on. The Coalition?
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Actually, I already know all of this. I just wanted to know if you do too. That explains all the war damage.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
There is a strange gleam in his eyes.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the Coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
I really don't have any thoughts about any of this because I don't know what the conflict is about.
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Well, I'm not a thinking man, am I? That's how it should be, soft socialists paving the way for the hard working class to take over. Foreign powers cleaned up our mess and now they rule us. Shake your head in shame. This coalition seems quite capable, actually. Commies just don't understand how money works. No, nothing. I don't think I just do. That's kind of mean, to be honest.
I'm just so damn sorry it had to be the Coalition. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains.
Ugh. Nasty. He isn't really paying attention to your words anymore.
I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol. Or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
Frissel, huh?
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Sure seems like it.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio.
It's like those damn kids. Damn progress.
This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
How does Philippe III factor into this?
It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. Ain't got nothing to do with anything.
Well, then why'd you... Okay. I was gonna say why'd you bring him up, but he talked about Guillaume, not Philip. Who was this Frissel?
Damn Frissel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
The old veteran falls silent and massages his chest.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
You mentioned Guillaume.
A true king in both blood and mind. Led Revachol before Fricelle. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
This is all very interesting, but again, I'm probably going to forget all of it, so... What exactly is a suzerain?
The suzerain is the king!
Ah, okay.
Has everyone forgotten already? They forgotten already.
It's just me. You have to excuse me. I have brain damage, sir, so... I'm sure everyone else remembers. I'm sure Kim remembers, right?
It's no use talking to you.
You're right.
You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened.
I mean, I'm not that young.
When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
I don't think I'm that young. What is it about this old soldier that makes him stand so proud?
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm
This
seeing.
is not uncommon.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Fricelle I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Fricelle the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
He was a clown, but he was our clown.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. I saw the statue of Philip III near the roundabout.
Ah, yes! King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
He smiles as if reliving a pleasant memory.
Cocaine. Cocainum. Sounds like our kind of king. And just imagine what kind of cocaine a king would have had.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know if the king should be on cocaine all the time. How should a true king rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself. Powerful leaders, not afraid to do what must be done, that's what this country needs. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I kind of feel like you should take care of the people.
A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
There is some weariness in his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before.
The Carabineer doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve.
What was that about cocaine?
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple-nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
You can't even take the responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler?
He asks, obviously annoyed.
That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine. For clarity of vision. To aid in their work. Regnum cocainum. Revachol's finest years.
He seems to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past.
I'm satisfied with this explanation.
Okay.
Of course. Clarity of vision. Awareness.
The lieutenant marks dryly.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court made him administer the dose to his mother
Really?
when she was in labor. And it is well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms.
Is that what you believe?
Higher realms. Of course, it all makes sense.
What was that about higher realms? Sounds interesting. Such responsibility requires a boost every now and then. I sometimes need one too. Seems like irresponsible behavior for a monarch. Drug users shouldn't even operate heavy machinery, much less rule countries. Thanks for clearing that up. I have some other questions. I mean, it does seem a little bit irresponsible.
From what I've seen of the officers of the RCM... But I don't want to get into a debate about drug policies.
He was gonna shit on the RCM, but he's like, oh, well, I probably shouldn't be saying that to you. I mean, if you were going to use me as an example, you're right. I'm really not a great example of a law enforcement, but I'm trying to be better. I'm on my second life now. Let's talk about something else.
Right.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, psst.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
What do you mean, word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
All right, that sounds like me. I haven't said anything like that. I've said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those. I mean, I guess this one.
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind.
Wow, you've really got me down to a T there. You've unveiled me in front of the world.
Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
Wait, first, what's this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
Failure?
Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world.
I don't think I'm gonna do that.
You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother.
Okay, now I feel like you're just mocking me.
You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to work, comrade.
Opt in or opt out? Is this like a big choice? What is happening? Start building communism. Honestly, I don't know shit about politics. I'm not even like 100% sure what communism even entails. I mean, I don't really want to opt into something that I don't fully understand the consequences of, but then again, that's like this whole game so far. Get to work, comrade. I mean, not really. It's too tiring. I don't have it in me. I'm beat down and broken.
Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over, unless anyone has objections. Did someone mention cocaine? Are we doing cocaine? No. I'm sure I heard someone say cocainism.
Very close.
Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one? There's no one. Okay then. Lie down and let the water carry you downstream.
Goodbye, communism. What the hell was that about? What the hell is going on in this game? Okay, let's talk to this guy. Are you done with your sandwich?
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
Let the man eat his sandwich.
Honey, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Looks delicious. Can I have a bite of that?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The other guy gave me some salami. You could give me a bite of your sandwich.
The only one you have.
Don't be a dick, Gaston. There's plenty for everyone. Please, man, can I just have a bite? I love how you can insist on these things. Like, come on, man.
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things.
Now you're just making up excuses. He's squirming, avoiding your gaze.
You can barely hear him. The sweet smell of pickles in harmony with garlic butter and marinated onions emanating from the sandwich is driving your mind in a singular direction. It must be yours.
That really doesn't sound that good. Sweet pickles, garlic butter, and marinated onions. That sounds like a nightmare to digest. Please, friend, let's just share it. You're not hearing me, man. I need the sandwich. Okay, I can't even give up at this point. Please, come on.
Fuck off! It's mine!
He jerks away, immediately startled by his own reaction. Damn, dude.
Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way.
Oh, really?
But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
Alright, fine.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets close. You're a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
You can convince him to relinquish his sandwich. It's only 8%, but you know what? What if I win?
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political.
What is political? I'm already tripping knee-deep in politics, baby. I'm not so sure about this. Yeah, I'm already tripping in politics.
You really do. Now, unleash the fury.
The city's going to shit. Sooner or later, some foreign anarchist is gonna steal your sandwich, that's a fact. Your blood sandwich, point to it, is a tool of the oppressors designed to keep the proletariat docile. These options seem awfully fascist or communist. What if I don't want to say them?
Say one of these fascist or communist things or fuck off.
Wow.
Whoa, easy there, Goldmouth. He doesn't have to say anything. Re-engage cop mode and bail out, if you like.
Yeah, back to police mode, smile and nod. I have some questions, Gaston.
All right. Let's hear them, officer.
So what do you know about the dead man?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
Okay, so he's hanged. He looks at the clouds wistfully. Come on, you must have heard something. Really? You know absolutely nothing? Shame. Maybe you can help me with something else then. Really?
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the gauche caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Respects?
The old carabinier can't believe what he's hearing. Sounds a bit like you're holding back.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
You know, are you guys even friends? Because it sounds like you can't really stand each other.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard.
And who is this Evrard, do you know?
Evrard Claire. Everyone in Martinez knows the Claire brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Lest we leave riddled with
late for
bullet
that.
holes. This animosity is ancient.
Are you a Union member?
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me.
So you're not an actual member.
Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll, just for the little things.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns the way the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate the socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
Not making a choice is a choice in itself. What are the little things you do for Everard?
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say.
What kind of things do you write for him?
Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Everard and I have these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, so Everard. Okay, I guess that's all for now, thanks.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
Also, what are the rules of this game?
Oh, the goal is to throw your bull. As close to the cochonnet as you can. That's the cochonnet.
He points to a small wooden ball in the middle of the crater. Interesting, tell me more about it.
Well, first, you draw a circle about a half a meter in diameter. We made ours out of rope. Then, the order of play is determined by a coin toss. You win it. You get to throw the cochonnet. Then, the players aim to throw their bulls as close to the cochonnet as possible. They must stay in the circle and keep both feet planted.
But you guys don't have a circle or rope, do you? Is there anything else you can tell me about pétanque?
I could, but I'd rather not. I don't want to take up your time with trivial details, officer.
Details. I think I get it. Thanks, Gaston.
You'll put that knowledge to good use in 50 years. I'm sure of that, officer.
Okay, in 50 years I'm gonna be like 100, so...
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now?
No, I want to talk to him. I promise it won't be about pétanque.
Hurry up then.
Bye. Oh boy. Oh, my back, I swear it's getting worse. We got a bench up here.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
Promise? It's a date?
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
What do you mean when he's gone? Where is he going? I don't want him to leave.
The worn and beaten...
You can revisit...
Okay, I guess it's a way to pass the time. Okay. Enormous bull, worthy of a real man. Okay. I'm fine, just a little heartburn. What do we got down here? Oh, you're not gonna go all the way around, are you? He is, okay. This coin-operated viewer has been banged up inoperable. With some lights. This book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. That sounds like a good book. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. Okay, I think I know what kind of books these are. This is a book about pâté. This book, you don't really understand what it is about, nor does it seem important. A book about boiadeiro culture. It promotes freedom and roaming upstream. A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. Before I go there, let me... This must be the street name. 2 Roundabout North. 2 Cape Side Apartments, Martinez Pier. Here we are on the beach. If you want to call that a beach. The ad reads, broken window, Tibbs as windows. If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you could collect these bottles and sell them. Oh, right, if we have a bag, we can sell the bottles. True. You hear the distant squall of seabirds. Yeah, dude. I keep forgetting you can highlight like specific items and look at them.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Fossilized bubblegum is such a good way to put it. Poor little viewer. Vandalism. Look inside.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards.
What? Kuno? What's Kuno? Shift your focus to the background.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the Star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian Church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
My brain has so many things to say. Poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Oh, I have to wash my hands. I mean, bubblegum is not really... I guess it could count as vandalism.
Probably some kids.
Oh, there's another one up there. Does this one work?
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary.
Let's try it.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost.
Turn the knob to focus your vision.
The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Hang in there, little one.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
He's waving at me. There are ruins of some kind of building there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Just look in the viewer, my man. You'll see it. Okay, well that gave us some XP, so I guess that's good. Can I get your bag? I've been kicked out of every joint in Revachol. Wow, that's like the first person we've talked to where it doesn't start like a full-on dialogue. Come on, the nice still young. That's my song. That's a... That is shit. Music's my life, man. Better master your watch around me, boy. The things I've seen and said. Nothing I can't do. I'm the job for every man. Boy, I don't start trouble, I fix it. Okay. So you won't mind if I take this then? Yellow plastic bag fritta. Equip this to collect tar from the streets. Okay. So do we have to like actually have it in my hands? This plastic bag has fritta written on it in a dynamic, forceful manner that implies great prices. As you crack it open, a malty gust of air flies in your face. Smells of yeast and beer. A perfect place for tar. Okay. Well, let's equip it, I guess. So, how do I use it? Oh. So can I get like all these bottles? Oh. Hey, how about that? Maybe we can get some money after all. Plastic tar. How about that? Cleaning the streets. You can't say I never did nothing. I guess we're gonna zoom in to see them a little bit better. Take all. Just this policeman going around with his plastic bag like a... I'm really just being like a homeless person right now. Don't mind me and my plastic bag. A splatter of bullet holes lines the wall. Oh, some money. Hell yeah. I heard a duck. Thought I heard a duck, but it's probably just the seagull. I feel like I'm headed to another area of the game if I go up there. Let's keep getting these bottles. Ooh, got a bird. A lonely cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach. Okay. Have a nice day, Mr. Cormorant. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. It sure looks painted. You can see all the brush strokes on it. Ooh, more bottles. What's that over here?
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
And why am I looking at this wall?
You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinaise. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
Yeah, it's certainly a wall. Okay. Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, roundabout north. Cape Side Apartments. More bottles. Ooh, I got a healing item. I guess we might as well use one then. Get our morale back. Hey. So is there a limit to how many bottles I can have in this? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine 33A. Okay. And we've got some kind of sailor here who's kind of wearing the same clothes I am. Almost. Hello?
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
What is this music? We got a different music in this part. This woman comes with her own soundtrack. Joyce Messier.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
So Wild Pines are the owners of the harbor. She represents the board. Okay, so she's like a board member for Wild Pines. Joyce L. What does the L stand for? What exactly is the RCM? I remember hearing it from somewhere. What gave us away? And we can shake her hand. I guess let's just shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
Okay, so she knows about the hanged man, and she's here to handle the strike.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview.
Why?
I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
How can you assure her of that? We barely know each other, and you've seen that so far I'm really not that competent. Like, why are you letting me take the lead on this? You should be leading this interview, Kim. You're much more competent than I am.
There's a trace of irony in his voice.
Oh, okay.
Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
So you're just testing me. You're just having fun.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
All right, thank you.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
You're on the boat.
Why, yes I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Lukael.
Oh, Le Caillou. Caillou, I thought we were in Revachol. Still haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here. You can look really confused.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Lukael.
Oh, okay. So Revachol is not a country, it's a city. But then what's Martinez? Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle.
The lieutenant becomes defensive.
It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this.
Yeah.
A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
Okay.
She's having a good time arguing against the law. Too good, perhaps.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cor de Leyte 19, because that's the type of sloop it is.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
Okay. And how do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
The eel's hips?
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
He's like, nice going, dude. You're killing it so far.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Oh, so he's actually enjoying this. Maybe he's thinking we can, like, destabilize her? Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
Okay.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license.
Oh.
Sly fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
So that was just a dumb question then. I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
Good.
She takes a sip of her thermal cup. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
So it's more like a transport thing then.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
So companies are given a royal monopoly? That doesn't... I was gonna say that doesn't really sound like a good idea, but then again, is capitalism any better? I'm not sure. Who are the other Indo-tribes?
Jean-Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
An unknown entity? What are you talking about? I think I've heard all of these names before, but like I don't remember what Saint-Baptiste was. Didn't Saint-Baptiste own like Frit? You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the real meaning of the remark, which is me talking to myself in my brain. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
I mean, I don't know how much 1 real is actually worth compared to like a Canadian dollar, I guess, but if I'm to assume it's like $1, that's a lot of money.
Billion?
Numbers like that mean nothing to me. Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop, she grasps the mainstay for balance.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
I guess so. Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantanga on behalf of the suzerain.
Lomantanga.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
It probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
Yeah, my brain told me. She takes a sip and looks you over afresh. What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavor indeed. Oh. You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company is nothing without them. Quite the endeavor.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
Okay, it does seem like a well-oiled machine. What did I get? The 15th Indo tribe. No research bonus. Wild Pines, Feld, Coupry, Tricentennial, Villiers, and La Salle. Names of Revacholian Indo tribes spring into your head set loose at the mention of Wild Pines. Royal monopolies, octopuses, and swordfish, most of them gone now. YBP, Expander, Saint-Baptiste, Brightest Star, LUM, Resplendent, East Insulindic, Welter, and El Cassette. But isn't one missing? Wait, no. There were only 14. Then why do you feel like there was a 15th Indo tribe? Internalize? Still don't really know how these work exactly, but we're just gonna internalize it.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Okay. So we know a bit more about Wild Pines is the company that's in charge of like all of this work that's going on at the harbor. I guess I'm gonna assume it's kind of like Amazon. What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
Wouldn't want to disturb an octopus, better let it be.
I am glad you see it that way. To repeal the act would mean repealing the coalition government.
Oh.
The one that leases you the right to police West Revachol. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
Yeah, what is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
Okay.
And how are the talks going?
And why are you here in this boat and not, where the strike is happening?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Oh, okay.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, yeah, we met him. You mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
Oh, so he has a name. She leans back and rolls her eyes. How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
Okay, I should probably note that down. So we're like in what, in March now?
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
I've heard of a Mr. Gaumont before.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan.
Oh.
This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Well, good for them. Good for them. What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget.
Oh, wow.
Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
So Mr. Clare is the union boss, and Mr. Gaumont is the negotiator. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to need this information, but I'm writing it down just in case. Okay then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
I mean, it sounds like maybe something happened. What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. I don't think all of the 72,000 members can be part of the board. Seems like they have no idea about business, honestly.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
I mean, what does that even mean in this context?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision, about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
I mean, they're not all going to be knowledgeable about business, but I think it would be good if they had a say in things.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
So what are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Which we still don't really know anything about. Maybe I'm doing all these things in like the wrong order. Like I'm talking to all these people before I've even seen the body. Like maybe if I'd gone straight to see the body, then I would have like more options talking to these people. But that's just always how I play games. I always do things in clockwise order. So as soon as I went out the hotel, I was like, well, let's start going around the map in a circle, because that's kind of my way not to miss anything. So,
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
This checks out.
So she heard about the lynching from Mañana, whom we met. The scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
I see.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
I see. Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the
that's Everard.
utmost integrity.
Okay,
If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Right, that's Everard.
Of
Really?
course not. Everard is
Oh.
fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Right, they were brothers. So there's Everett and Edgar. Twin brothers, huh? There are two of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
So they're the foreman.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate.
Oh.
Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Okay, so the union is kind of like a crime syndicate. Okay. They did mention that they were the law in town, but I figured they meant more like because almost everyone in town is a worker, and because, you know, the union leads the workers, then by de facto they're kind of like the leaders, but so they're more like a mob.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
an effective advocate for the rights of local working men? I mean, if nothing else, it does seem effective. A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. I mean, I feel like I don't have the full picture here, you know? I've talked to the representative of the company, sure, but what about the union themselves? I haven't talked to anyone from the union yet, so it doesn't seem like they've been sucking the life out of Revachol. I mean, if they got them like medical care and they got them like overtime pay, that's pretty good. Even if the people at the top are corrupt, like at least the workers are getting something out of it.
Why do you think so?
Her voice is calm, there is only curiosity there. Between Everard the human leech and Measurehead, this union sounds like a motley crew. I'm into it. Sounds like they're all Revachol. I'm all Revachol too, to hell with the rest. They're good labor men, can't fault them for a little corruption. You can't fault them for some corruption. What I want to say is not really an option here. I just want to say, well, at least they're getting results for the workers.
Ha! A real man of the left. What else can I tell you about?
I prefer not to have an opinion on these things.
Of course, officer.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Okay, that's pretty eerie. Some kind of extortion, probably.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Okay.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Will we, though? We don't know about that. That's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
And she has a lot to say. You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What lustrous hair. What nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities.
Yes, so?
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable.
What about my underwear, man?
You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Ashamed? I'm not ashamed. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leash for some dough. As I should be, for even considering it. This is a woman and I'm a man. Yes, I should make my own goddamn money by now. I mean, that's true. So, just ashamed to ask a woman for money. Ashamed?
Yes. You're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Odin. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
I can actually ask her for some money. I mean, it's 72% of success, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna actually get money out of it, but I do kind of want to try it.
Voila, you're doing it.
Oh man, you seem rich. Can I have some money? Can I... Can I have some money, ma'am? Help me, I'm poor. I need money to keep living. I feel like she might give me some just out of surprise because it's such a weird thing to ask. She's gonna be like, sure. I guess let's just go for it.
Why, yes, I am rich. How much money do you need? Hopefully not too much. I couldn't bring all of it with me.
Hey, how about that?
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on?
I need $1 billion real. I mean, I feel like 130. Is that reasonable? I would like 1 cent. Okay, I do want to ask that just because it's really funny, and also want to ask that because that would be really funny. But if we're talking real numbers, I feel like maybe if I ask for 130, I would have a chance. I need 130 real?
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
Holy shit. She reaches into her raincoat and pulls out a zip bag. In it, you see paper notes arranged like black gills.
She removes a
Holy
few
shit.
notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
She actually gave me $130.
Whoa, whoa. Did you see how easy that was? Ask her for more. Toot toot, train to Moneytown.
Nay, it would be dishonorable, and mine honor is my life.
Can you eat honor? Are you an omnivore? Give me a break.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
You bribed me all right. I'm your little peon now. I am an honorable policeman, one of the few good men in Revachol. I'm still getting my head around this whole money concept. You were just helping me out. I want to talk about something else. Yeah, I'm still getting my head around this whole money thing. I'm gonna sound really crazy if I say that, but then again, I am about to ask her about, like, the reality of this place. I'm your little peon now. Ah, man, there's so many good lines that I want to say. I feel like I'm gonna have to play this game twice, like, and be a real fucking, like, complete disaster of a human being in my second run. But for now, I'm trying to keep it a little bit under control, you know? You were just helping me out, yeah.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they are properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
Wow, well, thank you for this. God damn. I can go and buy that tape player now. So, what can you tell... Before asking this strange question, let's ask her about the lynching.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Ah, shit. Interview the Wild Pines rep. That was a secret task. Okay.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves.
Of course.
I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that seems legit enough, right? If at least one of us has a badge, then we can look legit, even though I'm missing mine. He has to introduce me as his colleague, but I don't have a name.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Oh man. When you meet someone like this, you really don't want to look like just a... You know, I don't want to say that I was just having a night of heavy drinking. She really does have a way to make you feel kind of like inappropriate. Like she's in control, she's got money, she's well spoken, she's clearly she's got like all of her affairs in order, and here you are like wearing these weird clothes, smelling of alcohol, you don't remember your name, you're asking for money. It's possible after a night of heavy drinking I lost all memory of my life and the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything, this world, this city, nothing. Yes.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
Ah, God damn it. I have to say one of these. I could have eaten it for all I know. I really don't remember anything.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
I mean, it's probably because of the heavy drinking, but I don't want to say that to her. What do you mean breakthrough? Something about an imminent breakthrough? I guess to say that I almost have it. I can't believe I forgot to put a point in this.
I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
Yeah.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
How do you even know that, though? Like, if I don't have my badge, like the only way Kim knows that we're an actual officer is because of our jacket, I guess? And, like, anyone could have just put that on. Like, how does he know it's me?
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's fair. Well, why don't you just tell Kim, and then Kim can tell me. There is something she wants to tell you. You just have to present her with your badge to hear it. Or perhaps if you did her a favor, she could waive off the formality. Whatever the case, you need to know what she knows.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
I mean, what kind of arrangement would that be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
How do I negotiate my way out of this? We could try... This is a red check. +1, a dirty alliance. +1, sympathy for your amnesia. What? Where did I get those? +1, dirty alliance. +1, sympathy for your amnesia. Just because of what I told her?
Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
When you say it like that, it sounds so wrong. Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
I mean, they don't have to know.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
Yeah.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Not necessarily. It could still be somewhere.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam. Yeah.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there.
Okay.
Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
Learning cap for perception raised to 5. Speed gives 1 psi. Okay. Accept. So that's just equipped now? Learning cap for perception raised to 5. Wasn't it 5 already? Oh no, it was 4. Speed gives 1 psi. Yes, Kim? What do you want to talk about?
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Really? I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
I'm sorry for putting us in this situation. I'll handle it.
It would not hurt if you tried more in the future, yes.
Well, we could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
True.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
I mean, what do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
Okay, let's get back to her then. I'm sorry, Kim. I know I keep fucking it up, but
You're back.
you gave me the
Good.
lead.
What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Samaran is so...
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
Okay. And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
What do you mean?
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbor into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable.
Maybe Tommy Lehomme would know something? He did seem to be hiding something.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Ah, she gives you a knowing look?
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
Of course.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However...
She pauses, looking to the sea.
This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof do you have that the union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
I guess that makes sense.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men.
True.
The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
But then he would put himself in the line of fire.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
I guess. Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
I guess we don't have a choice. We will take this case, probe the drivers, and see what it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something.
I feel like Tommy Lehomme might say something. I hope it's not the racist guy, because we kinda burned that bridge.
It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Okay. We've had a very normal conversation until now, but I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
She pulls her hood closer around her neck. It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy now that I think of it.
She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
Kim, I don't need your sarcasm right now.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
Oh boy. This episode is already going long.
Alright, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
What is this? Spread your hands. Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby? Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover.
Disco
pay it no
mention.
heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol.
Okay.
A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
So I had it wrong. I mean, I didn't have it wrong. I had it right earlier, and then I got it wrong, and now I have it right. So you have Le Caillou, which is the island, and then Revachol is the city, and Martinez is just a district of Revachol. All right, I got it now. She looks around, her green raincoat flapping in the wind.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
I was planning on playing for an hour and a half, and it's been 2 hours, and it's probably going to be even longer by the time I'm done with this conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed the extra long episode. You mentioned the sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
The Insulindic is the ocean. Okay.
Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
So you have the Insulindic, Le Caillou, Revachol, and then Martinez. Okay. I don't like the word lukewarm. Can probably guess why. What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
Okay. So Esperance is the river.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Okay, that's Martinez. What about Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
She's being very patient. What kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
What makes Revachol great?
History, detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Semenine and Ile-Marat, depending on your creed.
And when was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
Okay. And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest.
I'm so grateful that we finally met someone who's just giving me all the information, like just straight up, like here where we are, here where this is. Like here's the history of this place, here's the city, here's the country. Very helpful. Thank you, Joyce.
By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people. In the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're in an unimportant part of an important place. Yeah?
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about...
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
22 kilometers from the center of the world.
Oh.
That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Okay, that's a lot of words.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time.
Wow.
There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Say nothing. Observe the large body of water swelling, cold.
She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly.
A new thought. Jamais vu. Derealization. Revachol Special Administrative Region, Le Caillou, the Insulindian Ocean, Coalition Government, Insulindian Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Trouvant, the Apricot Company, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corner, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts. The one you truly must complete. Well, we'll internalize it then, I guess. Yeah. Huh. Jamais vu. Yeah, it's like the opposite of déjà vu. She observes your eyes scanning the horizon and breaks the silence slowly.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Monsieur will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
It's already 4:20.
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
But I want to know everything now.
That is understandable, but perhaps it's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
So I guess they're saying like you have a lot of dialogue here, like you don't have to do it all in one go. But like, will she be here later? What if she's not? What are you? What is this? What times are these? What is this acute encephalopathy? Okay, I guess that's all for now then.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Thank you, that's all for now.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
More like defective. Alright. Your room in the whirling isn't much bigger than this loop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Yeah, I bet. I would ask for all the questions, but actually I needed a way to get out of this dialogue because I feel like it's going to keep going for much, much longer, and this episode has already been going very long, so we're going to stop here for now. Let's see. Keep asking Joyce questions about reality or return later. She'll be here whenever you need the info. Okay, so it sounds like she's going to stay here, and hopefully the game is not lying to me, because I do want to keep asking her a question. The jam mystery. Someone's using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients of drugs into Revachol. Joyce said there are 3 drivers at the intersection. Talk to them, one of them must know something about the drug trade. Alright. Another very, very dialogue-heavy episode, but of course they're all going to be. That's just kind of what the game is, right? I'm glad there's so much voice acting, because if I had to actually read all of this stuff out loud, my voice would give out after like 20 minutes. But it's all very compelling stuff. I'm really interested in all these things we're learning. I'm going to try and remember as much as I can. Like, I've been taking down some notes about what sounds like important, like Everett Clare and Edgar and like the Dock Workers Union and stuff like that. I'm probably still going to forget like some smaller details or lore. Please be forgiving with your boy. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. We still haven't seen the body. The body just happened to be at the end of the clockwise circle from where I started, so it's probably going to be like the last thing I'm going to check out in this general area. But we're meeting some interesting characters and getting some entertaining dialogue, so that's fine with me. As you probably know by now, I like to take my time and I'm not in any rush. I like to go slowly in games and really be thorough and check out every nook and cranny, so that's what we're going to keep doing. As always, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't, so you can catch all the future episodes. If you would like to support me or get a full week of early access on the videos, you can do so by checking out my Patreon in the description below. But until next time, I had fun playing this, hope you had fun watching it, and I'll see you in the next episode for some more Disco Elysium. À la prochaine.